to see how this Olathe North offensive line, which is undersized, handles this very good three-man front from Blue Valley that features two 300-pound players, and then, a kid by the name of Mason Richmond going to play at the University of Iowa. So to me, if Arlen Bruce has success, it might have to be on the perimeter tonight because this defensive line from Blue Valley is really good. He might be a tight end on the next level. He plays defensive end right now, but there's some talk that he might even grow into an offensive tackle. He's 6'6", 255, and has that frame that college recruiters drool over. I just know this much, right? He took the game over last week against Blue Valley North. They tried double teaming him. They ended up trying to double team and then block him with a running back coming out of the backfield, and it wasn't working, which then opened up Clayton Power and Sterling Smith and the two 300-pounders to just kind of get after it.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please stand for tonight's national anthem.
No question. Yeah, no question. And then what's so awesome about those guys up front, it opens up their very good linebackers, Jack Bowersox, and Bo Palmer, two kids that I think are extremely underrated from a notoriety standpoint throughout the city. And they're racking up tackles. I mean, Bowersox 112 tackles and just flies all over the place and makes plays largely because of the success their defensive line has. Yeah. Yeah. No. Indeed. Should be a good one.
Three minutes, I think.
Cool. Super duper.
right.
Number 68, Andrew Dunning. Number 71, Parker Laney. Number 73, Michael Hurley Jr. Number 79, Brandon Pena. And number 81, Dave Cheever. Let's hear it for your Olathe North Eagles.
Survive and advance has been the theme of a wild playoffs in 6A over the last month, and it's time to narrow the field down to 2. Tonight we find ourselves in Olathe as the Olathe North Eagles and the Blue Valley Tigers meet for the right to play in next week's state title game. The Tigers of Blue Valley have been battle-tested this year and have clawed their way into the semifinals. Olathe North, meanwhile, has been blowing up scoreboards this season, led by Player of the Year candidate Arlen Bruce. I'm Tim Sproul, he's Jeremy Crabtree, and Jeremy, it's time to send a team to Emporia.
Yeah, you're right. The difference in this game is going to be Arlen Bruce, one of the favorites for Player of the Year in the state of Kansas and in the entire metro area. His numbers are video game-esque. 2,249 yards rushing this season, 39 touchdowns, including last week's game-winning touchdown in overtime against Blue Valley North. If you talk about clutch, that was absolutely clutch. He came to play when the moment came to, when he had to. 63 touchdowns also in his career. If he stays on track, remember, he's just an underclassman, he could eclipse the 100-yard mark by the time he's done. So it should be fun to see how this aggressive, talented, big and physical Blue Valley Tiger defensive line matches up against him.
Like you said, Arlen Bruce, the game-winning touchdown a week ago against Blue Valley West in overtime, 35-34. Blue Valley also had a tight one. We were there for that game against Blue Valley North. They led 21-0 in the first half. Blue Valley North clawed their way back. They scored a touchdown inside of the last 50 seconds to go in the game, called a couple of timeouts, decided to kick the extra point, go for the tie, and Michael Allen blocked what would have been the game-tying extra point kick. So both of these teams got scares a week ago, and it kind of put them on notice, and it makes you ready for a game like that.
Oh, yeah. No question about that. It's going to be interesting to see which team learns from some of the mistakes they made last week. As we saw with Blue Valley, they had a ton of trouble with the center quarterback exchange. We also saw a lot of penalties. The Blue Valley team was penalized quite a bit, and I think Olathe North kind of overlooked Blue Valley West. There was no way that they thought coming in that the Jaguars could compete on the same field as them, and they found themselves very lucky to get through winning the game in overtime.
It is cold. It is a big stage tonight. Blue Valley, Olathe North, 6A semifinals, a chance to play in next week's state title game. The elements are going to be a major factor tonight. Like I said, it's not only cold, it's the coldest day of the week so far to this point. And again, players are out there without the sleeves, but again, this is a couple of offense that like to throw the football around, especially Blue Valley. Could be a major factor.
It's going to be, and there's potential for some snow flurries and some rain, freezing rain a little bit later tonight, so that's something to keep an eye on. The wind's going to be a factor. You and I were down there on the field before the game. It was whipping around pretty darn good.
Blue Valley's going to touch this football first. In their white unis, they've got the white pants, the black lids, and Olathe North is going to kick this ball going left to right. They're all blue uniforms with a white lid. We're ready to send a team to the state title game, and we're underway from Olathe. High, short kick is going to be fielded by the up man of Blue Valley at his own 20-yard line, out across the 25. He gets gang tackled out near the 27-yard line, and here come the Tigers of Blue Valley.
Yeah, they're led by Jake Wolf, the junior quarterback. Last week, 13 of 17 for 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Dorian Stevens is another name to keep your eye on. The Kansas State receiver commitment had a huge touchdown reception off a tip last week, but the guy I'm real excited to see is Chase Jans. The junior running back was big last week, 114 yards on the ground and a touchdown. He's going to have to play well tonight.
Blue Valley will go right to left in this opening quarter into a wind, like you said, whipping around. 3 to the right, 1 to the left, as Wolf is going to keep it on the ground with Jans bouncing it out right side and skipping down to about the 33-yard line, brings up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, both sides of the line, Blue Valley has a huge size advantage, both offensive line and the defensive line. How are they going to be able to utilize that versus Olathe North on, especially on the defensive side, their quickness? This Olathe North defense has given up a lot of points this season, so it's going to be interesting to see if Blue Valley can get on the scoreboard early on.
On a second down play, movement before the snap, and now a flag comes out late. This is going to be a false start. But yeah, you mentioned Olathe North. Their defense has kind of gotten taken advantage of this year. They're giving up more than 23 points a game, but as you talked about last week, 35-34, they give up 34 points to a Blue Valley West team that didn't come in with necessarily a very explosive offense. No. The defense has holes.
Yeah, they do. They do, and they're not very big up front. They can get passed on, but especially susceptible against the run, which is kind of plays well right into what Blue Valley does. They love to run the football, and then that opens up the play-action passing game for them.
They wave off the penalty, by the way, and it remains, they went ahead and let the play go. And so it's going to be a 3rd and 8. 3 to the left and 1 to the right as Jake Wolf, the junior quarterback, checks the far sideline. Jans remains the tailback on a 3rd down play.
Usually Dorian Stevens time, the big matchup problem, 6'3", 190 pounds.
He's wide to the right side. Wolf, play fake, looking left, throws a slant route over the middle and incomplete through the hands of his target, Sterling Lockett, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that was open. Lockett's not very tall. Again, the younger brother of Aaron, or Tyler Lockett, excuse me. Aaron's their uncle, and Kevin Lockett's their father, but overthrown. Sterling's only 5'10", and Jake Wolf's airmailed that one.
11:17 to go, opening quarter just underway from Olathe District Athletic Complex. Blue Valley goes 3 and out on their opening drive. Punt unit out there for the Tigers. Rushes on. It's a good punt, end over end, into the lights. Fair catch called for and made at the 43-yard line of Olathe North. And for the first time tonight, here comes Arlen Bruce in this Eagle offense.
Yeah, he is so explosive. He has 3+ touchdowns, Tim, in 9 games this season. That's a sometimes guys only score 3 touchdowns in their entire season. But 9 games this season. Interesting enough, in pregame, he was lined up only at running back and receiver. But it looks like he's going to go out there and take the snap under center. So a little gamesmanship pregame by this Olathe North coaching staff.
We will see multiple quarterbacks. It's worth noting he starts in the pistol formation, claps his hands, turns, and he gives it straight up the middle, and tripping in the backfield was his tailback. That's going to be a loss of a yard. It was Jacob Parrish, the sophomore, maybe a little bit revved up on his first carry of the night.
Yeah, a little trying to get the gears going before he got going, and slipped and fell, and that's a 2-yard loss.
Going to be 2nd and 12. Arlen Bruce, 3 touchdowns on the ground last week, only threw the ball 3 times, 0 for 3 through the air a week ago in that quarterfinal win. Bruce is going to keep it on 2nd down, bouncing at left side. He pushes forward for only a couple, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
That's that matchup we talked right away. The offensive line from Olathe North versus the big 3-man physical defensive line from Blue Valley. Blue Valley's defensive line won big on that play.
So here we go, 3rd and 10. And like you said, that defensive front is going to cause some trouble tonight for Blue Valley. Maybe the best 3-man defensive front in the city. Bruce is going to bootleg to the near side, wants to pass. He's going to fire a deep out route and complete it in Blue Valley territory at the 43, getting out of bounds. Dale Stout, first catch of the night for him.
That's a huge play. Anytime you can convert on a throwing situation, if you're Olathe North, that's outstanding, and nice job of getting Bruce out of the pocket away from that pressure, and Stout ran a nice comeback route, and that's a nice first down conversion for the Eagles.
People continuing to file into the ODAC here in Olathe. 1st and 10 from the Blue Valley 43-yard line after the Olathe North Eagles convert a 3rd and 10 play. Bruce claps his hands. He's going to keep it left side, cuts it up towards the middle of the field, and carries the pile forward for a gain of 5 yards, 2nd and 5.
That's a win, even though there was no push by the offensive line. Bruce is still so explosive enough to find a little crease and crevice and get 5 yards out of the carry. But again, no push at all by this Olathe North offensive line there.
You mentioned he's averaging more than 3 touchdowns a game. He's got 43 through 11 games this year. 2nd and 5 play. He's going to give it to his tailback. It's only going to go for a yard behind right side. Jacob Parrish, the sophomore, is going to bring up a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, ran into a brick wall there. So another 3rd and long situation here for the Eagles. What are they going to be able to do to convert? They roll Bruce out on that last 3rd down play. What's the play call here? I imagine Bruce is going to be on the edge in some fashion.
Inside 9 minutes to go, opening quarter. No score from ODAC. 3rd and 4. Bruce checks the sideline for the play call. One to the left side, one to the right side. His favorite target Mario Sanchez not on the field on this third down. Bruce is going to keep it, running right side, trying to get to the edge. He's got a first down and more. Loses the football as he takes a hit near the 30. Scrum for the football. Tigers say they haven't, no signal yet, but Blue Valley celebrating like they have a turnover.
But they
don't. Olathe North keeps the football.
Yeah, Bruce was hit hard by cornerback Hayden Essex, just hit the ball, and it flung back, about 4 or 5 yards right into the scrum, and credit one to the offensive lineman for Olathe North to come up with a fumble recovery, because that could have been disastrous.
There are about 3 Tigers that were sprinting off the field celebrating what they thought was a turnover. Instead, it's 1st and 10 for Olathe North. They're going to keep it on the ground, spinning inside one man, inside the 10 to the 5, and a touchdown run for the sophomore Jacob Parrish, right up the gut, 28-yard score.
There's a huge gash over the left guard. Parker Lang did an outstanding sealing the hole, and Jacob Parrish, he's on the end zone 3 times this season, making a 4th, and he showed outstanding acceleration. What I loved about him is he didn't dance around. He went north-south and found the crease and got into that end zone.
Jacob Parrish takes advantage of his 3rd carry on the opening drive. It goes 28 yards straight up the middle. 6-0 Olathe North, extra point unit on, and the extra point makes it 7-0 Eagles on your Sports Radio 810 High School Football Game of the Week.
Civic is America's leader in partnership corrections, operating over 60 facilities in nearly half of all states. Learn more about
car accident, storm damage, or a fire. When the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
They must have put someone on the roof. All right. Hey, don't blink or you'll miss it. Olathe North into the end zone, 7-0. Early on in quarter number 1, 8:06 to go first quarter. And Olathe North ready to give it back to Blue Valley. They've already touched the football once tonight, went 3 and out, and the Eagles immediately struck back. Kick unit out there, and this is going to go end over end, going to be fielded near the 8-yard line. Across the 15 to the 20. Out near the 24-yard line goes the return man for Blue Valley, Bo Palmer.
The linebacker.
Kick. Yeah, the linebacker.
We saw him earlier this season, linebacker, run the guy down after an open field play. He's outstanding speed. This A10 varsity game break brought to you by CarStar Metcalf, your local collision wear experts in Overland Park. We've already got a score also over in the 5A semifinal. Aquinas scores quickly, takes a 7-0 lead over Mill Valley.
So here comes Blue Valley for the second time in this opening quarter. Went 3 and out on their opening drive, and now Wolf wants to go to the air, looking right, in trouble. Scrambling backwards, he is going to get dropped back near the 12-yard line. Olathe North sent the pressure, and they get home. That's going to be a loss. Oh boy, more than 10 yards on the play.
Sam linebacker Mason Pride got through there and on a blitz and just brought Wolf down. That's huge, and Wolf's very good at getting the rid of the ball usually, but that time he just held on to it way too long and loses, 13 yards on the play.
2nd and 22 for the Tigers after the sack. They're going to keep it on the ground and going nowhere is Chase Jans. 3rd and 20 for Blue Valley in this opening quarter.
Much like Blue Valley, the Eagles love to run with a 3-man front, and nose guard Jonathan Mendoza defeated Evan Taylor right across from him. And that's a huge 2 plays. Great job by this normally porous Olathe North defense. They've come to play early on, Tim.
Keep an eye on Dorian Stevens. Future Kansas State Wildcats going to be lined up wide to the right side here on this 3rd and 20 play for Blue Valley. Off their own 14-yard line. Got to get out across the 34 to move the chains to keep this drive alive in the opening quarter. Wolf, shotgun snap, pressure in his face, going to set up a screen far side, in and out of the hands of the intended target. He was looking Lockett's way again, and it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, just busted from the beginning. Too much pressure, and Wolf put too much on the pass, and here we are. Olathe North couldn't have written a better script to start this game out. Your defense has come to play. You're going to get great field position off this punt, assuming you don't make a mistake on special teams, and your offense rolled right down the field on that last drive.
6.5 to go, opening quarter, and Olathe North ready to touch it again, up 7-0. Blue Valley punt unit out there. Here is a line drive kick. It is going to be fair caught at the 45 of Blue Valley. So short field for the Eagles. They're only going to have to go 45 yards to add another score.
Yeah, we were talking in the break, if this Olathe North offense can get somebody else going to complement Bruce, they're going to be tough to stop tonight. And we saw in that last drive that Jacob Parrish, 3 touches, 1 touchdown run, was that complement, and he's got explosive speed also, averaging 5 yards a carry coming into the season. But very interesting that they utilized him early on as a complement to Arlen Bruce.
Last week it was all Arlen Bruce. Like I said, 3 touchdowns on the ground, 210 yards rushing. But it's Jacob Parrish that gets the night going for the Eagles. Bruce wants to go to the air, lofts one deep down the middle, caught in stride, a touchdown, 1 play, and it's 13-0. Dale Stout has got Olathe North up 2 scores.
They were so concerned about running the football, they packed the middle and left one-on-one coverage. And you got to give junior receiver Dale Stout a ton of credit because he beat his man on the post route, and Bruce put just enough air for his big 6', 375-pound receiver to go get the ball. And oh my, this Olathe North offense is cooking early on.
Get your track shoes on. It's 14-0. Olathe North in the opening quarter on Sports Radio 810. Wow.
Man, they put...
Checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man.
I can. Which one is it? 3? Yeah. Any better? All right.
Chiefs Checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long.
Hey, these home fans in Olathe having some fun in this first quarter. 6:26 to go in the opening quarter. Olathe North ready to give it back to Blue Valley again. 3rd time we've seen this kick unit in this opening quarter. Here is a high, short kick again, angled to the near sideline. Going to be taken near the 15, breaking a tackle out across the 30, and shot down near the 33. Goes Chase Jansen. Here comes Blue Valley in a 14-0 hole opening quarter.
This isn't must-score territory yet, Tim, but this is got to keep the ball out of Arlen Bruce's hands territory. They need to give their defense some time to recuperate, recover, find something, talk to the coaches, and scheme something up because it's not going right at all on the defensive side of the ball. The offense needs to produce a drive here, eat some clock up.
If you're just joining us, 6:20 to go opening quarter. Olathe North already leads 14-0 over Blue Valley. This is the 3rd time we've seen this Tigers offense. 2 3 and outs already for Blue Valley. 3 to the right, 1 to the left side. They're going to keep it on the ground. They ran that read option. This time it's the tailback pushing ahead for 2 yards. Jan's on the give, and it's 2nd and 8.
Yeah, not much push, and we thought we'd see some push from this offensive line facing a 3-man defensive line that's not as big. But I tell you what, Olathe North is fast. I mean, they've got speed everywhere, and they're utilizing that speed very effectively here in this first quarter.
2 left, 2 right in the future Kansas State Wildcat. Wide to the left side, that's Dorian Stevens. Lockett is in the slot also to the left side. Play clock inside 10. Blue Valley taking their time, getting to the line on this 2nd down play. Jans remains the deep back. They're going to give it to him straight up the middle. Goes nowhere. Ran into a blue wall. Lost it 2, and it's 3rd and 10.
The linebackers for Olathe North are just so quick to react on that read. There was 3 of them. Take your pick, 1, 2, or 3. They were all there helping support that run. No room at all to get through that line of scrimmage. Nice job by this Eagle defense setting up another 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10 situation here for this Tigers offense. Not ideal at all.
Got to get out to the 43 to keep this drive alive. They have not picked up a first down yet in this opening quarter. 4 wide. Wolf wants to go to the air, loading up. He's going to fire a deep out route. Caught by Stevens. Cuts it back inside and slung down near the 47. Excuse me, that was Lockett. His first grab of the game. Gets out to the 47 of Blue Valley.
Looked like his daddy, Kevin Lockett, going up and getting the football. The former K-State legend. Sterling went up and high-pointed it, found a soft spot in that zone, and that's a huge first-down conversion for the Tigers.
4:50 to go opening quarter, and Blue Valley out to their own 47-yard line. Their first down of the ball game. On a first down, they're going to run a stretch play near side. That's Jans falling forward for only a half yard. It's going to bring up 2nd and long.
Still no push from this offensive line. They were so good last week, Tim. Not seeing a push yet, so interesting. Coach Terrell challenges his guys by continuing to try to pound this run and see if they can get something going that way.
You're not kidding. Chase Jans, 114 yards last week against Blue Valley North, but getting nothing going on the ground in this opening quarter thus far. 2nd and 9, 3 right, 1 left for Blue Valley against the 3-man defensive front for Olathe North. Wolf, high snap, play fake, looking right side, throws a slant low and incomplete. It's going to be 3rd and 9 for Blue Valley.
We talked last week a lot about some of the center quarterback exchange problems, and that one was snapped perfectly by Taylor, but Wolf did not have the ball right in his hands, and by the time he got it right into his hands and throw it, the defensive backs were able to jump in on that slant route.
See if Blue Valley can convert another 3rd and long here. They just did moments ago. Got to get to the Olathe North 43 to keep this drive alive. We're inside 4 minutes to go opening quarter. 14-0 Olathe North. Wolf, short drop, pressure in his face. He flares it out to his tailback, jams in the flat, and he gets dragged down for a gain of 2 yards. A flag flies, and this one is probably going to go against Blue Valley.
Not probably, definitely. Nick Herzog, number 79, held, and it was about as obvious as it can be. And, you know, if you're Olathe North, you might decline that penalty and make them punt. Because it was just, what, a 2-yard gain?
Yeah, so it would be 4th and 7 or 8 if you decline the penalty.
I mean, it was an obvious hold. It wasn't even close. Yeah, and Olathe North looks like they're going to decline it.
Fans continuing to fill in here in Olathe.
They're just showing up. They're like, well, what happened?
They do decline the holds, and out comes this Blue Valley punt unit.
Boy, good job again by this Eagles defense.
This will be the 3rd punt for the Tigers in this opening quarter. And Olathe North starting to feel a little bit in this first quarter. Already up 14-0. Low snap. This is a high end-over-end short punt. Hits near the 30-yard line. Takes a Blue Valley roll sideways. And it's going to be down near the 28 of Olathe North.
So what do you do to stop this offense? You expect him to run the football with Arlen Bruce? They hand the ball off to Jacob Parrish, and he goes for a touchdown. Expect Arlen Bruce to run it? He rises up and throws it to a wide-open receiver, Dale Stout. This defense has their head spinning. Let's see what kind of adjustments they made during that slight drive that we saw by the Tigers. I imagine we're going to start seeing some pressure from the linebackers to see if they can support the run and get after Bruce.
Worst starting field position for Olathe North in this opening quarter. Bruce is going to give to Parrish. Left side pushes the pile forward for a couple of yards. Going to be 2nd and 8. 3:30 to go in this opening quarter. Again, 14-0 already. Olathe North leads over Blue Valley. This is an Olathe North team that's averaging 43 points a game and 250 yards on
this is normal for them.
Yeah. 2nd and 8 play. One receiver in the formation for Bruce as he checks the sideline. The receiver is 6'3", 175-pound playmaker Dale Stout, and now flags blow this one dead.
First mistake we've seen from Olathe North.
Should be a false start And yeah, that's the signal as they start to move backwards. So second 8 is going to quickly become second and 13 for the Eagles. 9-2 this year. Their only losses came to Lawrence High back in mid-October, and then Columbine out in Colorado, a tight one in late September.
That's a good Columbine squad. They should go deep in the Colorado State playoffs out there, too.
For what it's worth, they played Columbine last year and got hammered by almost 40 points. So they've come a long way, even after making the 6A semis last year. It's a much improved team. Second and 13 for the Eagles. Man goes in motion. They're going to give to Parrish. Right side, trying to get wide. He cuts it up near the hash mark and falls forward for about 4 yards. Going to bring up a 3rd and 9 play.
Yeah, interesting to see what type of approach Blue Valley comes here, because this is still a running type situation with this explosive running attack that Olathe North has. I assume we see a couple linebackers potentially spy Arlen Bruce, but then that creates matchup problems on the perimeter. You have to win as a defensive back your one-on-one battles against the receivers if you're going to commit that many people to stop the run.
That Blue Valley side across the way starts to make some noise. They can feel this game starting to slip away already. We're still in quarter number 1. Bruce is going to keep it on a counter play straight up the middle. He's got a first down across the 40 as he's shoelace tackled near the 41.
There you go. Try to stop the passing game. They run the quarterback draw, power draw, pull a guard, come across, leave great lead block. And Arlen Bruce doesn't need much of a space, Tim. He just finds a little crease, a little crevice, and gets after it.
They spot it near the 42, and the Eagles are on the move again. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns so far for Olathe North. Blue Valley reeling in the opening quarter on Sports Radio 810. 1 receiver in the formation again for Bruce. The junior quarterback is going to keep it left side, and he's in trouble as he gets steamrolled 2 yards deep in the backfield.
Yeah, finally brought some pressure from the outside. Tyler Kelso comes from the backside, and a great push by Mason Richmond on the other side to keep Bruce from getting to the perimeter, but Kelso comes backside and cleans that play up.
Yeah, the future Hawkeye, Mason Richmond, made the edge over there, and Arlen Bruce was staring at a 6'6", 250-pound behemoth, and all he could do was just fall forward into that white jersey. 2nd and 12 for the Eagles. Bruce is going to keep it on the counter read again, skipping between tacklers. He's got 7 quick yards and is going to make this a 3rd and very manageable 5 yards.
Boy, I love his patience on that play. He had to wait for that play to develop, the blocking develop, and he kept back. And he sees the hole, Tim, he is gone and gets from point A to point B as quick as anybody in the state of Kansas.
1 receiver on a 3rd and 5 play. Bruce checks the sideline, and Dale Stout is going to be that receiver wide to the right side. Parrish remains the deep back. Already a touchdown run tonight. And again, 3rd and 5 play. Blue Valley, everyone near the line of scrimmage. The farthest man back is 6 yards off the ball.
Still very much a running play.
Bruce, counter look, in trouble, scrambling around. He is going to get snowed under. A yard behind the line of scrimmage, and that time Blue Valley sniffed it out.
Finally saw some penetration from the defensive line. Mason Richmond did a great job, and then Clayton Powell, the nose tackle, kind of finished the play, but they hadn't seen much push at all yet this game. But Mason Richmond gets through there. But, this is a 4th down and 5 situation. I'm assuming we'll see the punt, but nothing's a sure thing.
First 4th down of the night for Olathe North. Offense still out there from their own 46. Bruce, the direct snap. He is going to boot this one. Nobody back for Blue Valley. Takes a roll inside the 10-yard line, inside the 5. Olathe North is going to down it at the 4-yard line. Arlen Bruce flips the field. And Blue Valley is going to start deep in their own territory from the 4-yard line. And that will take us to the end of quarter number 1.
Checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
This is our house.
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 This is our house!
Athletic Complex as we start quarter number 2. Blue Valley down 14-0 on the road to Olathe North in the 6A semifinals, and they start this drive from their own 4-yard line. Wolf standing at the goal line is going to short drop, fire this one, complete it to Dorian Stevens for a gain of about 5 yards out near the 9-yard line, bringing up a 2nd and 5.
Well, that's kind of easy pickings. That's just in a long, extended kind of running play when you have a big 6'3" receiver that's going to get, I mean, they're lining 10 yards off of him every single play, so take those free 5 yards, and those free 5 yards add up to first downs eventually.
Dorian Stevens only had 2 catches last week against Blue Valley North in the quarterfinals, including a touchdown. On a 2nd down play, looking that way again. Instead, it's the tailback catching it right at the sticks and getting pushed out of bounds is Chase Jans. They're going to move the chains and pick up a 5 through the air.
Yeah, hey, like what we're seeing, the quick passing game, getting Wolf out of the pocket and getting the ball out of his hands rather quickly.
1st and 10 as they move across the 15-yard line. Just underway in quarter number 2 on Sports Radio 810. I'm Tim Spurl. He's Jeremy Crabtree. 2 to the right, 2 to the left side. Future Kansas State Wildcat Dorian Stevens wide to the left. Jans remains the tailback behind the junior quarterback Wolf. Wolf is going to keep it on the ground with Jans breaking 1 tackle. He's across the 25 and tripped up. Excuse me, that was Grayson Holbert. His first carry of the night goes for 11 and moves the chains.
I know they really like Holbert a lot, Tim. He's a sophomore, but he is the more explosive, faster runner compared to Jans, who's the more physical guy. A little change at running back, and that paid off with a nice first down run.
Out to the 26. This drive started at the 4-yard line. They're going to keep it on the ground again. They run that read option, and Wolf maybe pulled it a little bit late, and he gets dropped for a loss of maybe half a yard, and it's going to be 2nd and long.
Yeah, I don't care if he pulls it or keeps it there. That was busted up. Nice run support there by the linebackers, A.J. Patillo, coming up. 131 tackles. I mean, this kid's always near the football, and right there, he was there to bust up that zone replay.
And now 9 tackles for loss for Patillo this year. 2nd and 11 play for Blue Valley. 10:30 to go till halftime. 14-0 Olathe North. Blue Valley trying to piece it together a drive in the 2nd quarter. High snap. Wolf bobbles it, corrals it, in trouble, and he's going to get dropped. Lost the football, and the lineman back near the 15-yard line. Right place, right time, engulfs it at the 16, and it's going to be 3rd and forever.
Evan Taylor, the center, who snapped the ball over Wolf's head, somehow, some way, kind of came up with a huge fumble recovery, but we saw that, 5-6 times last week, Tim, where the center quarterback exchange was just horrible, and right there, you can't snap it over your quarterback's play. It's the most basic part of a play. You have to get the snap, and right there, Evan Taylor airmailed it once again. 2nd
and 11 becomes 3rd and 20. Blue Valley just fortunate they had a lineman in the area. Wolf, short drop, pressure in his face, fires over the middle, intercepted! Back across the 25, cut back near the 20, 15, cutting back near the middle of the field, inside the 5, looking for the end zone, and getting in is the linebacker Noah Palmer, and it's 20-0.
Noah Palmer read that like a center fielder reads a pop-up. Jacob Wolf was zeroed in on his receiver the entire time, and Palmer snatches it and then weaved down the left side, then cuts back and then shows him power and got into the end zone. And oh my gosh, what a first half we've seen by this Olathe North defense. They're going to be up 3 touchdowns here.
Pick 6, Noah Palmer. It's 20-0. And the extra point unit out there trying to make it 21-0, 9.5 to go till halftime. What a performance so far from Olathe North. And now whistles and a timeout for Olathe North. They were a man short on the extra point unit.
And we've seen Blue Valley is really good at blocking punts, but how about Noah Palmer reading that? The rangy 5'8", 165-pound outside linebacker safety. He read Jake Wolf's eyes. Wolf was locked in on one receiver the entire time, but I was more impressed with his run, how he was able to get to the left and follow some blockers. His defensive line, his linebackers did a great job of blocking, but then he showed some power to getting into that end zone too. He was not going to be denied, and that's what you want to see when you're playing for a opportunity to play for a state championship. You lay it all on the line, and Noah Palmer laid it all on the line right there.
Third interception of the year for Noah Palmer, second leading tackler on this team, and he comes up with a giant defensive play in this second quarter. So after the timeout, extra point unit this time is fully staffed. And Zach Willoughby-Neal knocks it up and through, but there's another whistle. And another flag. They're going to have to blow this one dead.
Offside.
As an offsides call. It's going to force a re-kick here for Olathe North.
I heard from some folks at Blue Valley North this week on social media that thought that Blue Valley maybe jumped the PAT last week. So, but they were definitely offside on that one. The side judge called that.
So we'll try it again this time. Inside the 2-yard line, they move the football, but again, no second guess for Coach Chris McCartney. He keeps the extra point unit on there, trying to make it 21-0 in this second quarter. This Olathe North side's got plenty to cheer about so far, and that extra point kick finally is up and through. 21-0. You're hearing that right. Olathe North, a 3-score lead over Blue Valley on Sports Radio 810.
This is our house.
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 This is our house. This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
Nothing. Olathe North has stormed out to a 3-score lead over the Tigers of Blue Valley. 9:26 still to go till halftime. And the Olathe North kick unit back out there. Teed up at the 40 for Jackson Sarver. End over end kick is going to be fielded near the 19-yard line. That's Grayson Holbert trying to get wide, breaking one tackle across the 25, cutting it up near the 30, spun forward near the 35. Good return by Holbert.
Yeah.
And this feels like a great time to remind you that Blue Valley led 21-0 last week against Blue Valley North.
That's a great point.
And the Mustangs worked their way all the way back within an extra point.
Yeah, but Blue Valley North, we saw some flashes with them. We saw that they were just missing on a few plays, that they were moving the football. This Blue Valley offense hasn't really done anything at all. It's been dominated by this defense from the Eagles. So this is not a must-score drive yet, but it's getting darn close.
This is the best starting field position for the Tigers tonight. Jans gets tripped up a yard deep in the backfield as they try to run that read option again. And it's going to be 2nd and 11, not the start to this drive you want.
No, nice penetration by the left end, Zach Price, just slicing through there, getting right by Nick Herzog. Nick Herzog's been one of their more consistent offensive linemen all season long, sophomore, but he just got beat to the inside by Price.
This has been a very impressive unit, that defensive front for Olathe North so far in this first half. 2nd and 11, 4 wide again for Blue Valley, down 3 scores. Short drop, Wolf is going to fire one down the sideline for Stevens. Behind him and incomplete. It's going to be 3rd and long for Blue Valley.
Yeah, Wolf's got to get his big 6'3" receiver an opportunity to throw the ball or catch the ball. Can't throw it behind him. Maybe back shoulder fade, maybe, but still, that was not even in the right vicinity for your future K-State Wildcat receiver.
Olathe North, they do have some playmakers in the secondary. They've got some athletes at the corner and safety position. We saw one of those guys, Noah Palmer, with a pick 6 moments ago. 8:38 to go till halftime. Another 3rd and long for Blue Valley. Got to get out to the 45 to keep this drive alive. Wolf Looking right side, stepping up in the pocket. He is going to fire one for Stevens. He's got him at the 47-yard line. They're going to move the chains, a gain of 12.
That's a nice play by Stevens. He fought hard to get off the line of scrimmage. We saw some third and long. Olathe North goes press man up front, and he had a hard time getting off the line of scrimmage, but he fought through it, then used his physicality at 6'3" to catch the ball, and Jake Wolf bought just enough time to get the first down conversion.
They send a man in motion. They're going to flare it out far side. That's Jeffries in the flat trying to make one man miss. He does as he gets into Olathe North territory and rolled down near the 48-yard line of the Eagles, gain of 5 yards.
It's amazing what happens when you get a first down conversion on third down. You feel better about yourself. You feel the tempo picks up a little bit. The things just start to move a little bit more freely, and that play looked good for Blue Valley.
2nd and 5, 8:12 to go till halftime. And Olathe North, a 21-0 lead. Stretch play far side, that's Jans, cuts it up and only picks up a half yard. It's going to be 3rd and 5 for Blue Valley.
I did not see this coming, Tim. I did not see this offensive line get dominated by the undersized Olathe North defensive line, and that's what's happening right now. There was zero push on that left side by Caden Kirby and Trevor Lister on the left side. They were just getting pushed back by Michael Vernon, Jonathan Mendoza, and Zach Price.
Big third down play for the Tigers in this first half. In Olathe North territory, but staring another punt right in the face. This Olathe North student section starts to make some noise. 2 to the right, 2 to the left side. Play clock at 3. Wolf, high snap, looking right, step it up. Rainbow, deep right side. He overshot his man, and it's going to be 4th down.
Oh, you kidding me?
They're going to
There
call.
is a flag down.
He's nowhere inside. That ball.
They're going to call defensive pass interference, I'm assuming, but I don't know if that one's
Back near it's near the middle of the field. But boy, it's 5 yards or so overthrown. It's a big call at this point in the game.
That's a bad call.
They're going to call holding instead of the pass interference.
So that's going to go ahead and move the chains for Blue Valley.
I think they're going to get Malcolm McKibben, the cornerback, on the hold.
Tigers catch a break, 7:20 to go till halftime.
Yeah, that's a tough call. That's a tough call.
They move it up to the Olathe North 39-yard line. And this is the furthest into Eagle territory the Tigers have gone this evening. 3 right, 1 left for Wolf. Out of the shotgun, looking right, firing a slant route, caught in stride, and climbing his way out near the 32-yard line goes Sterling Lockett.
I like what this Olathe North defense is doing. They're challenging the Blue Valley receivers to get off the line of scrimmage. They're showing back, and then they're coming up right near the start of the snap and being physical with these Blue Valley receivers. And these receivers are having a hard time getting off the line of scrimmage. Lockett had to battle through and just able to make the catch.
2nd and 4 play now for Blue Valley. They're going to keep it on the ground. That's Chase Jans. Nowhere to run again. Only picking up half a yard, and it's going to be 3rd and about 3 here for Blue Valley.
Yeah, A.J. Patillo, the undersized Mike linebacker, but just a heat-seeking missile was right there again to make the big open field tackle.
As we approach the 6-minute mark to go till halftime. 21-0 Olathe North. Blue Valley trying to get their first points on the board on this drive. They got to pick up 3 to convert on this 3rd down play. Stevens wide to the right side. Wolf is going to zip it that way. He's got his slot man for a first down at the 21-yard line. And again, that's Sterling Lockett, his 2nd catch on the drive.
I like what they're doing with Lockett because they're so focused on stopping Dorian Stevens, and Sterling Lockett has some speed. And, boy, he can catch the ball and go, and very sure-handed. If he's a Lockett, you know he's going to catch the ball, and if it's thrown anywhere near him, and he's done that tonight.
1st and 10 from the Olathe North 21. This drive continues to march on. High snap. They're going to play fake it, zip it out into the flat far side. In trouble and getting dropped back a yard deep behind the line of scrimmage was, I believe, John Jeffries. And it's going to be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, Jacob Parrish doing double duty at running back and at bandit linebacker. Nice job fighting through the block and through all the other players and making a nice open field tackle.
So they go backwards on 1st down. 2nd and 11. Got to get down to the Olathe North 11-yard line to move the chains. Play clock at 10. Wolf is going to turn, give to Jan straight up the middle, dives forward for only a few yards to the 19-yard line. Here comes 3rd and 8 for Blue Valley.
Yeah, look at Lockett again. He's been your go-to guy on this drive. They're so focused on stopping Dorian Stevens. I go back to Lockett here, especially on that slant route or something over the middle.
4:55 to go till halftime. 3 right, 1 left on this 3rd down play. Wolf checks the sideline as fans continue to file in here in Olathe on a chilly Friday night with a trip to the state championship on the line. Play clock inside 9. Still waiting on that play call, and Coach Alan Terrell takes his first time out of the half. 21-0 Olathe North. Blue Valley, this has been their best drive of the game. It was aided by a holding call, a defensive holding call, and a 3rd down play that kept this drive alive. But Blue Valley, you feel like where this game is right now, they have to have
well, especially when you get inside the red zone, you have to punch it into the end zone. Let's get a quick 8-10 varsity game break brought to you by CarStar Metcalf, your local collision repair experts in Overland Park. Over on the Kansas side, we're going to stay. Mill Valley's down 14-0 to St. Thomas Aquinas in a 5A semifinal. Over at Aquinas, Bishop Miege now up 19-0 over Paola in a Class 4 at battle, and the battle to play the winner of this game on the west side of the bracket. Derby's up 28-7 over the Topeka High Trojans, and Topeka High has the Minnesota-bound running back Kai Thomas, the all-time leading rusher in Topeka high school football history, and it looks like Derby's having a little problem slowing him down tonight.
So here comes a 3rd and 8 out of the timeout. Worth mentioning, Derby has been in the last 4 state title games.
They're really good. Brandon Clark's team's so good.
They won it last year. They beat Blue Valley North. Blue Valley North, by the way, took down this Olathe North team in the same semifinal game a year ago, almost to the day. Here comes a 3rd and 8, getting that play call in. Play clock at 10, and Blue Valley again struggling to just get the play in. 2 right, 2 left for Jake Wolf. Short drop, has time all day, rolling to the right side, firing one for the end zone. That's incomplete, off the hand of his intended target, and it's going to be 4th down.
Boy, if he just leads his receiver one more step, that is a touchdown. He also is going to go look at film tomorrow and see that he missed Sterling Lockett coming on a crossing route from right to left out of the slot. He was wide.
And Wolf had time to stay in the pocket.
Is right. There was good blocking up front, and he missed Sterling Lockett, who was streaking wide open. That would have been an easy touchdown. Now, critical field goal attempt here for Blue Valley.
Yeah, Colin Wood's going to run out there. This is going to be a 36-yarder off the far hash. He's got this range. High snap. The holder's in trouble, scrambling around. He's just going to throw this one up into coverage, incomplete, and a bad snap.
Wow.
And Blue Valley is going to come away empty-handed.
Long snapper Will Montgomery.
It wasn't a design.
No, that
fake.
was
It
not a
high
fake.
Snap.
That was not a fake, because you fake, you actually have receivers go out and try to catch the pass. There was nobody that went out, and boy, it has gone from bad to worse right now for this Blue Valley Tigers squad. And if Olathe North can put one in here, it is going to be an awfully, awfully tough task to come back.
4:23 to go till halftime, and Olathe North takes over at their own 19-yard line. Already a 21-0 game. Arlen Bruce from the pistol. He's going to give it to Parrish, who runs into a wall. Those big defensive tackles make a statement there. It goes for nothing, 2nd and 10.
Speaking of comebacks, Mill Valley's put a touchdown up on the board against Aquinas in the Class 5A playoffs on the Kansas side. It's now 14-7. St. Thomas Aquinas over Mill Valley. That game is on a10varsity.com if you want to check it out live.
Also the semifinal round over there in 4A as well. 2nd and 10. Bruce is going to keep it. Looking for space through the middle. He finds little room as he falls forward for 1.5 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 8 as we approach 3:30 to go in this first half.
This feels like an awfully big play right now for this Blue Valley defense.
Yeah.
Your offense gets all the way into the red zone, stalls, then the field goal busts wide open. You got to do something here on the defensive side to pick your team up. Can you stop Arlen Bruce in this 3rd and long situation?
Two receivers in the formation. Bruce, play flake. He's going to bootleg near side. Scramble back to the right side. In trouble. Going backwards. Fire run for the sideline and out of bounds. It's going to be 4th down. And that time, good coverage. And now a real late flag flies here on the far sideline.
They're going to call
after the
grounding, maybe?
That's
or lineman downfield?
Possibly.
He was out of the pocket.
And it got past the line of scrimmage. At least it looked up here like it did. Waiting for the call from Whiteout. Now he's going to just wave off the flags. I'm not sure what it was for. But regardless, it's going to be a 4th down, and out comes the punt unit for Olathe North.
Great job by this Tigers defense. Kind of slowing down the bleeding a little bit, and probably going to get good field position if you handle this punt cleanly.
3:14 to go till halftime. Tate Gillen stands back at his own 45-yard line. Willoughby Neal is going to boot this one end over end. A line drive kick is going to hit near midfield, taking Olathe North hop across the 45 and get down near the 42-yard line. But yeah, good field position, best field position for Blue Valley in this first half. But not a whole lot of time left, just 3:04 to go till halftime.
I don't know if you saw, Tim, but Willoughby Neal's he maybe deserves an Oscar for his acting there, because the defensive lineman trying to block him, he wasn't within a yard, and he fell down trying to draw the flag, and the white hat looked at him and just shook his head at him, and it was pretty comical. But now this blew that off and showed some signs of life on that last drive. Throwing the ball to Sterling Lockett. Can they get going again here and punch one into the end zone before halftime?
1st and 10 for Blue Valley after they force a punt. But again, this is likely going to be their final possession of this first half, as we're just around 3 minutes to go in this first half. Wolf is going to flare it out into the flat for his tailback. That's Jans. Skipping one tackle across midfield. He's got a 1st down as he gets out of bounds near the 46 of Olathe North.
Nice job blocking in the perimeter by Dorian Stevens. That's a new way that we've seen the last couple drives. They're throwing the ball just in the flat to their speedy running backs, and it's working really well. But nice blocking on the perimeter by the K-State bound receiver, Dorian Stevens.
Stevens is wide to the left on this 1st and 10 play. 2:57 to go in this first half. Blue Valley still sitting on a couple of timeouts in this first half. Wolf, short drop, running out of time, stepping up in the pocket. Flag flies from the back judge as he gets dropped back near midfield. It's going to be a loss of 4 for the moment. We'll see what the flag is.
Assuming it's going to be holding in some fashion, and if you're Olathe North, do you assuming maybe decline that? Well, it's 1st down, so I'd push him back.
It's either going to be 2nd and 14 or 1st and 20, depending on what Olathe North wants to do, because like you said, it's likely going to be a hold.
Yeah, push him back.
It is going to be a hold, and Olathe North is going to take the penalty. So a spot foul is actually going to make it a 1st and 22 for Blue Valley. So that's not what they needed. Down 21, getting the ball in good starting field position. Wolf wants to go to the air. After the penalty, he's going to fire a deep hitch out for Gillen. Diving catch made in Olathe North territory at the 47.
That's a nice pickup. Offensive line gave Wolf plenty of time to sit back in the pocket, and he didn't. We've seen a couple times here in this game where he's kind of felt phantom pressure, but he stayed in the pocket and delivered a strike to Gillen, who almost picks up all that penalty yards back. You're right.
Got 11 yards back, and now it's 2nd and 11 for Blue Valley. Wolf has time sitting back in the pocket, scrambling left, now stepping up in the pocket. Wolf is going to tuck it and run. He's across the 45 as he dives for the 43-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 for Blue Valley.
Yeah, he didn't want nothing. And Mason Pride, who came flying at him, and Wolf goes down. A nice job on the back end by these defensive backs for Olathe North. Blue Valley's throwing a lot of complex route trees at them, but right now this Olathe North defense is hanging in there, covering the receivers on a nice job.
5 to go till halftime. Wolf from the shotgun, stepping up in the pocket, getting chased, throws over the middle for Stevens, incomplete. He threw it behind him, and it's going to be 4th down. Front unit going to get called on here for Blue Valley.
Yeah, and again, Wolf, if he finds Lockett again streaking between the two safeties wide open. and he rolled to his left hand. He didn't have to roll. He could have stayed in the pocket. The pocket was clean, but he kept rolling to his left, which took Lockett out of his eyesight. If he stays in the pocket, he's able to see Lockett between the two safeties and deliver a strike.
Punt unit out there for Blue Valley, and just 1:32 to go till halftime. Rush is on. This is going to be a high spiraling punt. Fair catch called for and made at the 10-yard line. And here comes Olathe North. Not a whole lot of time left.
Plenty of time. Come on, Tim.
1:25. They do still have 2 timeouts remaining.
We've seen them punch this into the end zone all season long on just a play or two, and even tonight, 1-play drive. So, you know, if you're Blue Valley, you've kind of figured things out a little bit on the defensive side. Your offense hasn't got to figure, but you got to keep them out of the end zone here. You cannot go down 4 scores.
Let's see what Olathe North wants to do here. Like you said, they are a very big play offense. They've already had a couple of big plays in this ball game. Movement before the snap, no flags as Bruce keeps it on a read option play going left side. Picks up 5 yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 5, but again, maybe there should have been a flag on that one.
Yeah, I thought they maybe get one of the defensive linemen jumping off sides. Sterling Smithson, he was outstanding last week against Blue Valley North. But Olathe North showing no real signs of trying to go fast here.
They look content to get to halftime with a 21-0 lead.
It's not a bad idea either.
Yeah, no hurry up for the Eagles as we're inside of 50 seconds to go in this first half. They're going to keep it on the ground with Parrish as he dives across the 20-yard line. That's going to move the chains on a gain of 6 yards. But again, now just 44 seconds to go in this first half, and still no real sense of urgency for Olathe North.
I'm a little surprised. I thought maybe they would try to go just a little bit quicker here.
They roll the clock inside 40. Bruce is going to keep it, and he's going to go right into the arms
of Mason
Richmond.
Now we'll go to halftime. He should have handed the ball off on the zone read to the running back. Instead, he was welcomed with a little love tackle by the Iowa Hawkeye-bound Mason Richmond.
He loses 6 yards, and Olathe North is not going to need to snap it another time in this first half, and it looks like they're going to line it up anyway, but we're inside 10 seconds. Bruce is going to snap it one more time, keep it running left side, breaking 1 tackle, and then getting down near the 24-yard line. And that is how the first half will end. 21-0. Olathe North shot out of the gate. Their defense making plenty of stops in this one, holding Blue Valley scoreless in the first 24 minutes. We throw it back to the guys at halftime. They've got all your scores from a busy night of deep playoff football. Semifinals in Kansas, quarterfinals in some of the bigger classes in Missouri. They've got all your scores and updates from across the area. 21-0 your score at halftime here. Olathe North, a 3-score lead over Blue Valley on Sports Radio 810.
Checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
Civic is America's leader in partnership corrections, operating over 60 facilities in nearly half of all states. Learn more about Core Civic job opportunities at corecivic.com. You can apply for a rewarding position as a correctional officer, a nurse, or a school teacher, just to name a few. Your next career could be in corrections with Core Civic. Visit corecivic.com. That's corecivic.com.
Checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
Car accident accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
Gear up for Back to Sport at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
This is our house.
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 This is our house. This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house. This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house. This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
This is our house.
Gear up for Back to Sport at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Gear up for back to sport at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long.
Three-score lead over Blue Valley as we welcome you back on Sports Radio 810 WHP. I'm Tommy Crabtree and Olathe North. They shot out of the first 2 times touching the football, a couple of touchdowns on the board. They got a pick 6. The Blue Valley defense got their footing in the second quarter, but the offense never figured it out.
No, they didn't, and that's a little uncharacteristic because that's been one of the strengths of this team, and that's one of the strengths of Coach Terrell's teams is they're always good on the offensive side of the ball. They're physical, they're strong, they run the football, and then they play action pass you to death, and it's hard to run play action pass if you're not able to run the football, and this Olathe North defensive line has really kind of dominated. They're not very big, they're really fast, but they're winning their one-on-one battles against the offensive line, and if you can't get this run game going for Blue Valley in the second half, it's gonna be a tough task. It already is a tough task, but you got to be able to find a way to run the ball and keep the ball out of Arlen Bruce's hands, but and also punch 1 and 2 in the end zone through the running attack.
Yeah, you figure for Olathe North that it benefits them that they've got an athlete like Arlen Bruce running the show, and they run the ball so well, but you would imagine that running it's going to be even more of a focus. Up big right now in this game. You're trying to take as much of the clock away, and I know you don't want to talk about milking the clock early on third quarter, but just the nature of the way Olathe North plays, it's going to be something that's going to be in the back of your mind.
No question. You're right on the money, Tim. If you're Olathe North, you're going to have to fight being aggressive, but then also trying to eat into the clock. And if you're Blue Valley, you got to find a way to create a turnover, do something positive early on here in this second half, whether it's a big return on the kickoff, whether it's a special teams play, whether it's creating a turnover. You just got to find a way to create a play because that's what they've done all season. They've created plays, but we've not had any creative plays all night long from the Tigers.
For the first 24 minutes, all the momentum was wearing blue and white, and Olathe North is going to touch the football again first here in this third quarter. And again, this is the 6A state semifinals, a trip to the state title game on the line. Olathe North has come close the last couple of years, but they haven't been in this game for more than 10. Since 2009, they haven't been into the state title game. They won it back then in 2009, but trying to finally get back into the state championship game for Blue Valley. It's been a short time off. They were last time in the state championship back in 2016. They lost to Derby that year just a couple of years ago. We were there. So they're trying to get back, but Olathe North trying to end the 10-year drought. They're halfway home and ready to touch the ball first in this second half.
Yeah, ball security key. If you're the Eagles, don't have to be too fancy. Just do what you do and do it well.
It was all Eagles in that first half. Blue Valley is going to have to give it to them first to start this third quarter. They're searching for some momentum. Everyone on this Olathe North side standing, and they can sniff it. They're 24 minutes away from a trip to Emporia, Kansas for the 6A state title game, but do the Tigers have something to say about it? Ball teed up. We're ready for the second half and ready to send a team to the state title game. This kick is going to be a high end-over-end kick through the end zone and a touchback. And here comes Olathe North. Like I said, their first 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, but then the Blue Valley defense figured them out, and they didn't get anything else going after those first 2 drives.
Well, we started to see the defensive linemen from Blue Valley figure things out. The big 300-pounders, Clayton Power and Sterling Smithson, and we call Mason Richmond's name a lot there in the second quarter. So I'm interested to see what does Olathe North do. Do they try to get Bruce on the perimeter more? They ran a lot north-south with him in that first half, and with Jacob Parrish on those counters and with those isolation plays. Do they try to get Bruce on the perimeter and let his speed get going?
2 receivers in the formation for Arlen Bruce. Out of the pistol, he's going to turn, give it to Parrish, left side. He threw a hole. He's got 11 yards and a first down out across the 31-yard line.
Tell you what, Tim, if he stays on his feet, he's gone on the first play of the second half. And that play were very effective in that first quarter. They ran with him as a little counter, lead block, isolation, and he was gone. And, again, if Parrish can be a compliment to Bruce here in the second half, it's going to be really tough sledding for this Blue Valley defense.
Parrish already has a touchdown run tonight. This time Bruce is going to keep it running left side as he scampers for 5 yards on first down. He's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 from the 36-yard line. Bruce only threw it a few times in that first half. Did throw a touchdown pass.
Sufficient.
But, I mean, this is the name of the game. They're going to run it down your throats. And the first 2 runs in this third quarter have got 16 yards. 2nd and 5. And they get a 2-receiver set out of the pistol goes Bruce. He's going to keep it left side, trying to get to the edge. He is going to get pushed out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 3 play here for Olathe North out of the locker room.
Boy, if you can find a way to get off the field here, this big 3rd down, find a way to stop Bruce, that would be a huge boost of momentum.
Clock at 11:02 to go in this third quarter, just underway, second half. Olathe North a 21-0 lead. Here's a 3rd and 3. Bruce with a hard count. There was movement, no flag comes. Checks the sideline for the play call. They press the corners to the far side. 2 receivers in the formation. Parrish remains the deep back. Bruce is going to keep it left side, reversing field. It's a foot race that Bruce is going to get hunted down and drop back near the 40. There is a flag down in the backfield as well.
No, I think we're going to get a hold, but then a nice job of rallying to the football by the Tigers. Great push on the edge by Sterling Smithson. He did not let Bruce get around the edge on the option keeper, and we're going to get a holding, but do they decline it and take the play?
They mark it at the 40, so if you decline the penalty, it's going to be a 4th and a yard and a half. And they're going to accept the penalty, and I kind of agree with that decision.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you decline it, Olathe North is probably going to go for it.
But I was really impressed with Smithson on that play. He was not going to let Bruce get to the outside on the option play.
They bring in an extra DB on what's going to be a 3rd and long, 3rd and about 15 for Olathe North after the holding call.
And remember, this is still a running type situation with this explosive running attack from Olathe North. It doesn't matter if it's 3rd and long. They can pick up 3rd and long situations through the running game.
Just underway, third quarter, Blue Valley trying to force a punt on the opening drive. Bruce, play fake. No, he is going to give to Parrish. Parrish pushes the pile across the 30, gets some of that penalty yardage back on a 6-yard gain, but it's going to be a 4th and 10, and the punt unit's going to get called on.
Nice job by the Tigers. Come out of the first half, give up 1 run, but then bow up and force the punt. Nice job.
So Zach Willoughby-Neal in the punt unit out for Olathe North, and
don't forget
Blue Valley.
Blue Valley is a special team of blocking punts on special teams. Mason Richmond has a block punt and a blocked field goal.
They come after this one. Willoughby-Neal just gets it off a high spiraling boot, gets caught up in the wind, checks up near the 44, and it's going to get down there. But that wind, it affected that punt, and Blue Valley is going to have good field position from their own 44 early on third quarter. Again, down 21-0, but you drew up a blueprint at halftime. Step 1.
Yep.
Getting the football back immediately.
Yeah, defense did their part. Now that it's up to the offense for the Tigers to figure something out. Can they put 7 points up on the board? But most importantly, Jake Wolf's got to stay patient in the pocket. He's got to not read the phantom pressure. Yes, there has been pressure, but there's been a lot of times in that first half where he rolled left and rolled right when there was not pressure. Needs to stay in the pocket and find his speed receivers.
Wolf, high snap, is going to come right to the tailback, Jans, as he dives forward. They're going to lose a yard. But again, you mentioned it. Snaps were an issue last week, and again, a bad snap and a loss of a yard.
On the first snap of the half, Evan Taylor just couldn't get it executed correctly. Just not what you want to see when you're playing for a state championship, Tim.
2nd and 11 now after they lose a yard. This is a senior-led offensive line. 4 seniors across the front 5. Wolf out of the pistol is going to turn, play fake, zip a pass over the middle, caught. Dorian Stevens diving grab at the sticks, 11 yards and a first down.
Should be a first. There you go. Get the ball quickly out of your quarterback's hands and get it to your star playmaker receiver, and he makes a nice catch. I mean, they're giving them yards. This Olathe North defense, they're going to give them the opportunity to get these passing plays. Just have to give Wolf enough time and, gosh darn it, snap the ball to him correctly. Let him make a play. From the
Olathe North 46-yard line, Wolf is going to hand it off to Jans, who falls forward for maybe 2 yards. But, boy, They have had no running lanes all night.
No, A.J. Patillo, we've called his name all night long, and once again, he just was like a rocket shot out from his middle linebacker spot. He red run, and he went low on Jans and did not give him a chance to get any momentum going, get maybe a yard and a half.
2nd and 8 for the Tigers. Got to get out to the 36 to move the chains. Wolf. Play fake over the middle. That is hauled in. Gillen, a high grab made near the 35. That will move the chains.
I almost wonder if you're Blue Valley, you just abandon the run and just start chucking the ball over the field, because you do have the playmakers at receiver to make it happen. And
right.
Put it on your junior quarterback's back and see if he can make the play.
Another first down for the Tigers. 8:27 to go, 3rd quarter, down 21-0. But on the move. 3 to the left, 1 to the right side. Gillen is on an island out here to the right side. Mario Sanchez spies him. The corner to the near side for Olathe North. 3-man defensive front for the Eagles. Wolf looking right, throwing into a crowd, tipped up and incomplete. There were 3 blue jerseys around the football. Everyone got a hand on it, but no one could haul it in.
I said maybe it's time to have Wolf start chucking it. I didn't mean chuck it to the other team, because he predetermined he was going to throw it to Gillen on that quick hitch. Problem was, there were, like you said, 3 blue jerseys right there, and tuck that, run the football, get just a short gain, live to play for another down.
2nd and 10. Olathe North nearly took it away right there. Would have been their 2nd pick of the night, but it falls incomplete. 3 left, 1 right on a 2nd and 10. They're going to keep it on the ground. Jan's looking for something. He pushes forward to around the 32-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and about 7 for Blue Valley, and now you're going to have to consider going for
it's 4th down territory, no question.
Again, if you're Coach Terrell, you would love to just put that to rest and convert here on a 3rd down, but you're going to have to at least consider it if you can't convert this 3rd down.
Usually Sterling Lockett territory right here.
Lockett is in the slot to the left side. You got to get out to the 25 to move the chains. 7:30 to go 3rd quarter. Jans remains the tailback. Wolf is going to fake it to him. He's going to zip a pass over the middle and intercepted. Coming back again is Jacob Parrish. Far side across midfield and cut down out of bounds in Blue Valley territory at the 46.
Wolf tried again to force the play. He had the slot receiver wide open. Instead takes the 2nd level receiver and tries to throw it into Stevens, and it was just too much too soon. And like you said, to pick off, and momentum switches back over to blue, red, white, and blue, I guess.
There is a flag down, but it's near the backfield, which would indicate that it's probably against Blue Valley. And there is a personal foul. It looks like it's going to be on the interception return. So it will stay, should stay with Olathe North.
Boy, still, Jake Wolf, got to take what the defense gives you. You can't force it. He had the slant over the middle, wide open. They were bailing, trying to double cover Stevens, and rightfully so. They threw it right to where that double coverage was, and you can't do that. You got to throw it to your open receivers, and can't make mistakes like that if you want to play for a state championship.
How about Jacob Parrish, though? Two-way player, has a touchdown run tonight. Now he has a big interception in this 3rd quarter to thwart another Blue Valley drive. There was, like I said, a penalty on the interception return, so it stays with Olathe North, but they're going to back up near their own 23-yard line. But offense back out there for the Eagles, and here comes Arlen Bruce.
Arlen Bruce lined up at running back now here on this play.
So the backup quarterback, Caleb Nelson, in the game. They give to Bruce straight up the middle, goes nowhere on 1st down. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, big push from this defensive line. This defensive line has played well outside of the 1st quarter when they gave up those 2 big, long, those 2 early touchdown drives. One was just one play, but the other one was a nice, consistent drive. But this defensive line from Blue Valley has played well.
If nothing else, Olathe North is killing some clock. We're inside 7 minutes to go 3rd quarter. One receiver in the formation. They're going to give to Bruce running right side as he lowers the shoulders and dives out across the 26-yard line. Here comes the 3rd and about 7 for the Eagles.
Another opportunity to get off the field if you're the Tigers on defense, and it's all about fundamental form tackling. Make sure you get bodies around Bruce. Make him go sideways instead of north-south.
Bruce remains the tailback for the senior quarterback, Caleb Nelson. First action Nelson has gotten at quarterback in this game. He's going to roll to the near side. Loading up, he's going to rainbow one deep near side. It is incomplete. There were two receivers in the area. There was some contact, no flag, and it's going to be 4th down.
That's nice coverage by the Tigers on the back end. Number of guys, Caden McCumber, closest to that incomplete pass, and I don't know. I mean, I keep running the ball. I don't take the ball out of Arlen Bruce's hands one bit here in this game.
Stops the clock at 6:10 to go, 3rd quarter. And the punt unit back out there for Olathe North. 2 3-and-outs to open up this second half for the Eagles. They come after this punt again, but again, Willoughby Neal is able to get it away. End-over-end kick is going to take a hop, roll inside the 30-yard line, and going to get down near the 28. Got the hop he needed. And here comes Blue Valley again, but like I said, a turnover on their last drive, and now the clock's starting to work against them.
Yeah, no doubt. Now you definitely have to go quick, and not what you want to do when you've got a quarterback that's thrown 2 interceptions and probably should have had another one. He can't force it. He's got to take what is there. If it's underneath, take what's there. Don't force the ball down the field 20 yards. Take the quick 5-10 yards if you've got them.
Does Blue Valley have a drive in them? Can they at least get back into this game? 21-0 Olathe North. Second time touching the football in this 3rd quarter for Blue Valley. It's going to be Jans on a stretch play that goes nowhere. Back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10.
Guess who? Number 40, A.J. Patillo. He's got to be over double-digit tackles already tonight, Tim. And, boy, he came into the game with 131 and 8 tackles for a loss. I think that's like the 3rd tackle loss we've called by his name tonight. All over the place, doing a nice job for this Eagles defense.
That Blue Valley side has had nothing to cheer about really all night. The winner of this game to meet up with the winner of Derby and Topeka next week in Topeka. They're going to run it, or excuse me, next week in Emporia. They run it straight up the middle, and Jans picks up 1.5 yards, and it's going to be 3rd down. They keep trying to force the issue on the ground, but it's just not there.
It is not there, like you said. It is not there. So you got to find something else to go to, and I mean, unfortunately for the Tigers, that's got to be the passing attack.
Stevens is going to be wide to the left side. They've converted a few 3rd and longs in this game, but this is another difficult challenge for Jake Wolf and company. 3rd and 9, got to get out to the 39 to move the chains. Wolf, high snap, corrals it with a lot of time. Stepping up, now he's going to roll to the right side. Picks up one block. He's going to heave one down the sideline. Jump ball. Oh, what a grab made! Over the back of a defender across the 40-yard line, deep into Olathe North territory to the 39. John Jeffries, and now a flag flies.
I think we're going to get an additional 15 yards from a sideline. I think one of the Olathe North coaches did not agree that there wasn't pass interference. I didn't see any pass interference, so I thought John Jeffries just, okay, they got sideline and warning. I assume it's a warning here, first time calling it, but boy, John Jeffries went up and got that football, and that's the type of play you got to find something, do something. We talked about it right second half, coming out of the second half here. Do something to spark your team, and that type of play can be the type of play that can be a spark plug.
Climb the back of a defender, 1st and 10 from the 39. Play fake, Wolf fires an out route. Gillen in stride across the 30 and tripped up near the 29. 9 yards, and it's 2nd and short.
Yeah, they're much better when Wolf's getting the ball out of his hands quickly on these passing routes.
4:12 to go, 3rd quarter, still 21-0, but Blue Valley threatening again. Wolf checks the far sideline. Tigers trying to finish a drive. They haven't finished one yet tonight. Wolf, play fake. That was a busted play. He's going to keep it running right, lowers his shoulder, falls forward. He should have a 1st down to the 28-yard line, but that was a busted play.
That's a lonely, lonely, lonely feeling, Tim, when you try to do a mesh fake and you see nobody there. His running back went left. Jans went left. Everybody went left. And fortunately for Wolf, he was able to pick up the 1st down by just scooting a yard or two up the field.
They move the chains as Wolf and company check the far sideline. Clock ticks near 3:30 to go, 3rd quarter. Stevens alone to the right side. They're going to run it again. Jans looking for room, didn't find a lot as he collides forward to the 24-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, continuing to try to run the football down here inside of the extended red zone at the 25, 24-yard line.
And again, Blue Valley, you don't necessarily need to go breakneck speed, but you need a little bit of tempo as we're getting late in the third quarter and you're still down 3 touchdowns. Wolf is going to hand it off inside. Jans falls forward maybe a yard to the 23. Here comes another third down, 3rd and 5 for Blue Valley.
I just cannot get over how solid of a tackler A.J. Patillo is, because he had a guy blocking him. I believe he had Evan Taylor all over him, and he still somehow, some way came up with a nice tackle to prevent the first down gain.
3rd and 5 for the Tigers. No running lanes have been open all night for Blue Valley. Likely going to have to go to the air on this 3rd down play. 3 left, 1 right. Wolf looking left, holding on to the football, stepping up in the pocket, in trouble, retreating, firing one up into the end zone in double coverage, incomplete. It falls to the turf, and it's going to be 4th down.
Wolf's got to take what was there, because the slant was wide open. A 3-step drop, and he had Lockett again coming from left to right, wide open on the slant. Instead, chose not to throw it to him and throws one, hoping to prayer into the end zone, and it falls incomplete. But he got lucky that wasn't intercepted. You got to take what's there to get the first down.
2:14 to go, 3rd quarter, and a big 4th down in this game. Down 21-0 is Blue Valley from the Olathe North 23-yard line, trying to keep this drive alive. Wolf, play fake, pressure in his face, stepping up in the pocket, unloading one for the end zone, incomplete. There was contact, no flag, and it's going to be a turnover on downs.
Nice job on the back end by this Olathe North defense. They bent on this drive, but did not break when it counted. Again, nice job by this defensive backfield.
The Olathe North defense gets another stop.
Got a second here. We'll get you an A10 Varsity Game Break update. It's brought to you by CarStar Metcalf, your local collision repair experts in Overland Park. We'll go to the Missouri side. Only one game on Missouri in the Missouri side tonight, and that's the Class 4 District Championship. Platte County's up 28-14 over Grain Valley. 2 9-3 teams battling there.
So back to Olathe North, and Arlen Bruce back in at quarterback. From the 23, Bruce is going to give to Parrish. Nowhere to go through the middle.
We'll go back,
maybe a yard.
We'll go back over to the Kansas side, 21-14. Still, St. Thomas Aquinas over Middle Valley in the Class 5A playoff. Miege now rolling Paola 41-0. On the flip side, the winner of this game will play looking like the Derby Panthers. They're up 49-14 over the Topeka High Trojans, and that's the best Topeka team that they've had in that city in a long time. And Derby's doing what Derby does and destroying them. And whoever wins this game is going to have a tough task stopping the Panthers. They're so good.
Derby is, of course, the defending state champion. They've won 3 of the last 4 state titles. Low snap. Bruce is going to chase this one back near the 10, throw it off his back foot out of bounds, and that's dangerously close to grounding, and it will be.
There it is.
It went straight backwards, and Bruce scampered back and just picked it up and tossed it out of bounds.
I think they're going to wave it off. There was a receiver in the general vicinity, and there they go.
They will wave it off, yeah.
It was a air quotes, general vicinity. He was throwing that away, just got very lucky.
But here comes the 3rd and 9, and again, that stops the clock at 1:19 to go, 3rd quarter. And again, that's important because it's still 21-0. Olathe North over Blue Valley. But the Eagles off their own 25 in danger of going 3 and out for the 3rd time in this 3rd quarter. One receiver in the formation. Bruce is going to keep it. And now whistles blow this one dead in a false start. Bruce is probably all right with that because he was going
you're Blue Valley. You're frustrated because you had that sucker bottled up, and instead they're going to call the receiver out wide. Got just a little bit of a head start. If you're Blue Valley, you wish you could decline that, but you can't because it was a dead ball foul.
Olathe North has also protected the ball tonight. That's been another thing. Blue Valley's committed 2 turnovers, but Olathe North hasn't given the ball away. So even though the offense is sort of sputtering, they're at least protecting the football and protecting this 21-0 lead. And the defense has worked wonders tonight. One receiver in the formation on a 3rd and 14. Bruce is going to keep it running right. Dodges past one man, tries to cut it back. Now he's going to hesitate, go out far side, run into a couple of tacklers, and fall forward for only a yard. A lot of running to not pick up a lot of yardage, and it's going to be 4th down.
That's trusting your defense right there. Coach McCartney's trusting his defense that they've been lights out all night long. Don't get fancy. Maybe Arlen Bruce can bust one on a 3rd down run. But instead, you're going to rely on your defense, punt the ball away, and hope that they can continue to do what they've done all game long.
Clock inside 45 seconds. Let's see if Blue Valley comes after this punt. They came after the first 2 in this 3rd quarter. Rushes on again, chasing after this one. They get it off again. Willoughby Neal hits the deck. No flag as this one rolls across the 40-yard line all the way down near the 35, and another good punt by Willoughby Neal.
I'm enjoying watching the Willoughby Neal show because he kicked the ball and Richmond came up and kind of just touched him there, tapped him, and he fell down. It was some great acting skills here, but how about this Olathe North defense all night long? Very, very consistent. We thought that with the big, strong senior-laden offensive line that Blue Valley had, that they might be able to run the football effectively, but it had happened all night long, and now you're almost forced to kind of pass the ball on every single down because you're down 3 scores and getting ready to head into the 4th quarter.
Just 26 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter. Blue Valley still in a 21-0 hole, but back with the football. Wolf is going to hand it off. Grayson Holbert on a stretch play. Flags fly from everyone as he goes backwards. He's going to lose 2 yards. I got to feel this is going to be a penalty against Blue Valley.
Left tackle Caden Kirby. He didn't just hold. He went out and hug the defensive lineman. Might have been Portillo coming through on the blitz there. Either way, it was so obvious that there were 2 flags on the play. That was blatant.
I'm just more surprised that Blue Valley continues.
Yeah. And that was a slow developing running play. That wasn't one of those quick hitters that they've been very good at all season long. That was a very slow developing play to try to get it to the perimeter. And you can't go to the run the ball perimeter against this Eagles defense. They're too fast.
1st and 22. This could be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Wolf checks the sideline. Game clock down inside 10 seconds in this 3rd quarter. Wolf, let's see if he gets a snap-off, movement, and a false start. Boy, this has gone from bad to worse for the Blue Valley offense. Just 3 seconds now remain in this 3rd quarter. It's going to be 1st and 27.
Wow. You can't make mistakes like this if you want to play for a state championship, Tim. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, if you talk to Coach Terrell, he's going to tell you we have self-destructed tonight, and a lot of the mistakes that we've suffered have been self-inflicted.
That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. Olathe North is 12 minutes away from a return trip to the 6A state title. They've taken 10 years off. Can they finish the job on Sports Radio 810?
Gear up for back to sport at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Fourth quarter down 21-0. Wolf play fake, roll into the right side, gonna airmail one deep down the middle. That is incomplete. Stevens was in the area, but a dangerous pass.
It was dangerous on both ends. Dangerous that it almost got intercepted by Mario Sanchez, but also dangerous. He was behind Sanchez, and if that somehow gets behind Sanchez. That's a touchdown.
Second and forever for Blue Valley.
Yeah,
they got to get to the 44 to move the chains.
Remember, Stevens scored on one of those tip passes last week.
Yeah.
Very similar type play.
4 wide in the formation. Wolf out of the shotgun, stepping up in the pocket, throwing over the middle, completing across the 30-yard line to Gillen. It's been his go-to guy tonight.
Yep.
It's going to be third and about 13 here. They pick up 14 through the air there.
Nice blocking up front. Just gives him just enough time to get the complete pass. Again, he stays in the pocket. Good things happen.
Again, down 3 scores. You have to have a touchdown every time you touch the ball from here on out, it feels like. 3 to the right, 1 to the left side, and likely going to be 4-down territory, regardless of what happens here for Blue Valley. Justin away in this fourth quarter. Wolf rolling to the right. He's going to have time, running out of time, stepping up in the pocket. Rainbow's deep right side into coverage. Sanchez with the pick, and Olathe North has taken it away 3 times tonight, and the Eagles are now closing in on a trip to Emporia.
Yeah, Wolf was pressured again by guess who? Number 40, Patillo, and he could not step into the throw. Stevens was open. Stevens was behind Sanchez, but Sanchez comes back and intercepts the underthrown ball. And this Eagle defense, they're just opportunistic, making the most out of the Blue Valley mistakes and giving the ball back to their offense, and another opportunity to burn more clock.
And now whistles, and Coach McCartney takes a timeout. His Olathe North club has been absolutely suffocating tonight against this Blue Valley attack. 3 interceptions for this secondary. And now just 11:01 to go in this fourth quarter, and we're about to see Olathe North back on offense.
And burn the clock. I would be surprised if we see another pass from Olathe North the rest of the game.
Meanwhile, in 5A, Mill Valley and Aquinas continue their dogfight. Aquinas a 21-14 lead. They're in the third quarter.
And what a great crowd they've got. I mean, we've got a good crowd here tonight at ODAC, but boy, Aquinas looks like it's standing room only. And this is a game that they've been talking about all season. This game when we saw the 5A bracket, it's kind of what we anticipated happening, it being a Mill Valley Aquinas battle.
So here comes Arlen Bruce and company. Back with the football. Bruce is going to keep it, running left side, gets to the edge, lowers the shoulder, flag flies as he's pushed out of bounds near the 34-yard line.
Yeah, usually on the perimeter like that, that's going to be holding in some fashion. And that's one thing Olathe North really hasn't done much tonight. They haven't really shot themselves in the foot one way or the other.
It stops the clock at 10:55 to go fourth quarter. Again, if you're joining us late, 21-0. Olathe North leads over Blue Valley in the 6A semifinals. Now into quarter number 4 from Olathe, Kansas. Olathe North came into these playoffs as the 2 seed on the east side of the 6A bracket. Blue Valley came in as the 5 seed. They did not have to go through the number 1 seed to get here, mind you. The number 1 seed, Gardner Edgerton, lost in round 2 to Blue Valley North. Bruce is going to keep it far side on the first down play and get pushed down just short of the 30 near the 28-yard line. It'll set up a 2nd and 12 play for the Eagles.
And most importantly, he stayed in bounds. He could have easily taken the easy route out and gone out of bounds, really not gotten a whole lot of contact. Instead, takes the contact, cuts it back inside, and winds that clock.
Yeah. And again, the winner to meet Derby next week in Emporia, and Derby is the class of 6A.
Yeah, it's Derby. Yeah.
The defending champion in 6A beat Blue Valley North a year ago. Bruce on a 2nd down play is going to keep it straight up the middle, nowhere to go, picks up maybe a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 11. They've also appeared in the last 4 state championships in 6A, winning 3 of those 4.
Yeah, they're coached by Brandon Clark, and for folks that follow Kansas State football, they might recognize that name. Former receiver for Kansas State in the Bill Snyder era. He had a great game one weekend. I know you're a Sooner guy, Oklahoma fan. He had a great game against the Sooners down in Norman. huge catch from L. Roberson in that game.
So here comes a third down as they've let the play clock wind inside 5 seconds, and now they get to the line. We're inside 9.5 to play in the game. Bruce is going to keep it running right, cuts it up near the middle of the field, and drags the pile out to the 34-yard line. And it's going to bring up 4th down at about 6, and likely another punt for Olathe North. But all they're trying to do is protect the ball and kill some clock.
And I like what we've seen from this Blue Valley defense. They could have given up. I mean, they could have said, we're down 3 scores, and we could have just let this thing get out of hand. But the Tigers have continued to fight on the defensive side of the ball, and honestly have kept this probably more respectable than it looked like it was going to be for early on.
We're inside 9 minutes to go now. Blue Valley, we'll see if they bring pressure on this punt again. They will. They bring the house. This is going to be blocked, picked up. This is going to be a return for a touchdown off the bounce. It is a touchdown.
Mason Richmond gets his big paws up. The Iowa Hawkeye commitment gets his 2nd block punt of the season. Just stuck his left hand up, Tim, and it took a great bounce and landed, I believe, in Bo Palmer's hands, and Palmer walks into the end zone. That's the type of play that Blue Valley needed. Wow, what a play by Mason Richmond. He was unblocked, and he was about a yard or 2 away from the kick, and just stuck his hand up, and his 6'5" got the punt block.
Colin Wood's extra point kick is up and through. All of a sudden, it's 21-7. Blue Valley's on the board, 8.5 to play on Sports Radio 810.
Dude, that was like the most nonchalant play. He stuck his arm up, and it was...
I think it was just a bad punt, too. Yeah. Because if he hits it clean, I think it clears it. Palmer.
They're stuffing Tank Young.
What do you do?
They're stuffing him. And they haven't run all night.
On the return across the 20-yard line, getting corralled down near the 21. And this game is taking a turn all of a sudden. 8:27 to go, and now a flag flies as bodies are getting peeled off the pile. This is going to be a personal foul. I couldn't tell you who it's going to be against.
Looks like it's going to be against Olathe North, though, the way that the Blue Valley defense is reacting. And, Tim, we talked right before the punt block that this defense from Blue Valley has kept them in the game. We're waiting for that one big moment, that one breakthrough play, and it was the punt block.
There it is, a personal foul against Olathe North. So this is going to mark him back near the 10-yard line. Again,
Blue Valley, it's still a tough road.
Yeah, still down 2 touchdowns, 21-7, but 8:27 to go, and now Olathe North is going to start this drive from their own 10, and keep this in mind. The Eagles have not had 1 first down in this entire second half. They have punted. They have gone 3 and out every time they've touched the ball in this second half. 2 receivers in the formation for Bruce. Claps his hands. He's going to give it. Running the right side is Parrish. Tripped up across the 17-yard line. Nearly had a first down. He's going to be just short. Going to bring up a second and about 2 play.
Nice call, though. Get the ball. Everybody's focusing on Bruce, assuming Bruce is going to run the football. Instead, you use the counter, and Parrish slices off that right side and gets a nice big gain there of 8 yards. Yeah.
So Blue Valley, they do get the touchdown on the punt block. That defense, they're going to have to keep on playing their tails off, and they've been out there for a long time in this second half. You got to wonder where their energy level is at. Parrish remains the tailback. Bruce is going to keep it running right side, trying to get wide to the edge. He is going to get met at the 19 and driven back. Hit hard on the edge, and it's going to be 3rd and short.
Just nice coverage. Nice fly into the football. And this is Blue Valley. They're feeling it. And if they can somehow make a stop on this third in less than one, we might have something cooking here.
But if Olathe North on the other side of that coin can convert this third and short, they could kill another 3 minutes off that clock, which is right now at 7:10 to go in this fourth quarter. It's a big third down play, 3rd and a yard for the Eagles. Out of the pistol, Bruce is going to run right side, cuts it up. He's got a first down as he spins across the 35, holding on to that football. They're trying to tear it out, but he moves the chains.
Nice tough run by your junior star quarterback, running back, whatever he is. Just double isolation on the right side. Nice push by Michael Vernon, the right tackle, and just enough for the first down. And like you said, Blue Valley, as the well-coached team that they are by Coach Terrell and his staff, they were pulling, trying to poke the ball away, and Bruce did a great job of securing the football.
There's a Blue Valley Tiger down back near the 18-yard line. So that stops us with 6:58 to go in this fourth quarter. But if you're Blue Valley defensively now, you really can't give up too many more first downs. And you imagine 2 first downs pretty much salts this game away for Olathe North. Blue Valley's still sitting on all 3 timeouts. And the injured man, Michael Allen, makes his way. He was the hero a week ago for Blue Valley.
Yes, he was, and he is the future of this Blue Valley defense. Just a sophomore, Tim, and he makes a ton of big plays all over the place. Quick A10 varsity scoreboard update. Bishop Miege 48-7 now in the Class 4A state semifinals, and this Mill Valley St. Thomas Aquinas game, it's a battle. You can watch it on a10varsity.com. St. Thomas Aquinas is up 21-14, and that game just went into the fourth quarter over Mill Valley.
Here we go, 1st and 10 after the injury timeout. That Blue Valley side trying to make some noise. Bruce is going to give it to Paris straight up the middle, takes a shot at the 29-yard line, but picks up 3 yards, 2nd and 7.
That's fine. You're Olathe North. You're going to take that.
And now Coach Terrell starting to feel the heat. He takes his first timeout, and do you like that they're starting to use their timeouts at this point in the game?
I mean, you got to take them sooner. I mean, it's one thing or another. You take it now, or you take it in 2 or 3 minutes from down the road here. I don't think it's really going to make a difference one way or the other. You're down 2 scores. Maybe get a chance to get your defense a breather here because you still have the field position here in your favor.
6.5 to go in this game. And again, the winner to get Derby next Saturday in Emporia, Kansas.
And the other 5A semifinal, the winner of the Aquinas Mill Valley game will play. Well, it's still a battle. Wichita Northwest and Mays. It's 45-35. Wichita Northwest over Mays. Andover Central in 4A on the West bracket. They're up 7-0 over McPherson.
Out of the timeout. It's going to be 2nd and about 7 for Olathe North. And again, 6:33 to go in your ball game. 21-7 Olathe North advantage. They're going to run it with the quarterback, Bruce, through a hole. He's got a first down and more. Far side 40 with a stiff arm. He carries a man out to the 45-yard line. Arlen Bruce putting the team on his back in this fourth quarter.
And stays inbounds. Nice block. He just followed his running back, Jacob Parrish, up the middle, and he got big yardage. Just shows of his outrageous explosiveness, just cutting from right to left and just going like a blur.
He hasn't had the astronomical statistical day that we're accustomed to, but he's had the 2 biggest runs of the night in this drive. From the 46-yard line, Olathe North killing clock inside 6 minutes to go. They're going to give to Parrish, left side. He's through a hole. He's got 6 hard yards as he's corralled down near the 48.
I'm starting to think this Olathe North offensive line's feeling a little bit, Tim. They realized that they had to step up and make a play, and they've taken it over here on this critical fourth quarter drive with a state championship bid on the line. You turn to your senior offensive lineman, Mario Snyder, Brandon Pena, and Michael Vernon, and you say, run behind me, Arlen Bruce and Jacob Harrison. That's exactly what they're doing here on this drive.
2nd and 4. They empty the backfield for Arlen Bruce. Bruce is going to run it straight up the middle. Runs into a wall. picks up maybe a yard, and it's going to be 3rd and 3, and it's going to be the biggest third down of the night. Coach Terrell burns his second timeout, stopping the clock at 5:10 to go, fourth quarter.
Yeah, that wasn't going to be a pass. That was not going to be a pass. You empty it out, and you let your quarterback try to sneak up there, and you're right. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar on this play. Try to exploit the one-on-one matchup that you have with Arlen Bruce. You only have to get, it's a long 2.5 yards here.
And this is essentially your game. Down 2 scores. If they pick up a first down here, you can only stop it one more time.
Yep.
They're probably going to take the clock down to at least 2 minutes or so, barring a fumble. But this is the biggest third down of the ball game. Blue Valley, their slim state title hopes really hang in the balance right here on this third down, and it could be 4-down territory.
Yeah, as I was going to say, even if you stop them here on third down, it's probably 4th down situation. I would probably go for it with my my junior star player at quarterback.
Can the junior Arlen Bruce punch Olathe North's ticket to Emporia? Biggest third down of the ball game. Out of the pistol, Bruce is going to fake to Parrish. He's going to go straight up the middle, runs into a wall, pushes the pile forward. It's going to depend on the spot. It is right to the sticks, and we'll see where they spot Arlen Bruce.
I think he's going to be short. We're right on that line, Tim, up here in the press box. I think he is a good half yard short.
And while we wait for the spot, we pause for station identification. It is a half yard short, and Olathe North's going to keep the offense out there. Inside 4:40 to go. This is your ball game for Blue Valley. A stop keeps you in it. A first down for Olathe North, and you may be able to salt this one away. Out of the pistol goes Bruce. They need a half yard. Bruce is going to run right, cut it up, and it's the first down and more across the 35, down to the 33. Oh, and the player of the year candidate moves the chains, and now a late flag flies.
It's going to be extracurricular after the play was over. Dale Stout continued to block well after the whistle was over, but it doesn't matter. Should be a first down for the Eagles, and just put it on the back of your offensive line and let your star player. They're going to call it against Blue Valley. Okay, either way, just put it on the back of your star player and make him come up with the play that should send you to the state championship game.
Personal foul on Blue Valley has got Olathe North in the red zone, and the clock right now is all blue and white. Inside 4:30 to go in the game. Blue Valley can only stop the clock one more time, down 14. Here comes Bruce out of the pistol. Movement before the snap, flags fly, and now Olathe North is feeling it. Everyone on their feet here in Olathe on the home side of the stadium. It has been a long drought for this Olathe North program, and Chris McCartney in his 5th year, he has gotten his team on the cusp multiple times in his short 5-year tenure. He's gotten to the semifinals 3 of his 5 seasons here. He hasn't climbed the hump yet, but he's almost there. Just $350 to a state championship berth. Bruce on a hesitation is going to run right. He's going to run for the edge, make a move inside the 10, shot down near the 6. First down, Olathe North.
Boy, he is fun to watch when he is in the open field, Tim. I don't know if you saw, he gave a little shoulder head fake like you see kind of on the basketball court, and it bought him in a couple extra yards, and he's taking a knee here to rest just a little bit, but he's going to run back out there and probably carry the football again here inside the red zone.
First and goal, everyone on their feet from the ODAC. Bruce claps his hands, checks the sideline. We're inside 3.5 to play in this fourth quarter. 3-man defensive front for Blue Valley. Bruce is going to keep it on a counter, hopping over a man. Flag flies from the side judge as he only picked up a yard to the 6-yard line.
And if you guys want to see a great finish going on right now, the 5A state semifinal, Aquinas and Mill Valley 21-14, and Mill Valley is marching deep into Aquinas territory. That game is late over there at Aquinas, so you can watch it on a10varsity.com.
It is going to be a penalty against Blue Valley, and so it should be half the distance here for Olathe North.
Interesting. What was the...
So they're going to be inside the 4-yard line. And it's going to be a first down.
He called a chop block against Blue Valley.
Yeah. We have moved inside 3 minutes to go in this one. And Olathe North can punch their ticket right here. First and goal. Bruce is going to run right. Bruce with a cutback. Bruce making a man miss. Lowering the shoulder. Stood up at the 1-yard line. It'll be second and goal.
I tell you what, I'm still impressed. This Blue Valley defense is fighting hard, even though they know this one's probably not going to go their way. Can they stand up and keep them out of the end zone here? Or will we see? You know it's coming.
It's been all Arlen Bruce on this drive. He's going to be able to snap this football inside 2 minutes to go in the game. 21-7 again, Olathe North. They led 21-0.
He's a cool customer. Look at him. He's just down on one knee, waiting for the play call to come in, just watching the clock tick.
They go to the line, second and goal from the 1. Bruce is going to run right side, try to get wide for the pylon. He dives. He is going to be short. It's going to be third and goal as he gets out of bounds, stopping the clock at 1:54 to go in the game.
And Mill Valley has kicked a field goal. It's now 21-17. Aquinas with about 6 minutes left in that game. Again, you can watch that on a10varsity.com.
This is Blue Valley's last guess here. They still do have a timeout, so they can stop the clock here if Olathe North does not get into the end zone on this play. But again, we are inside 2 minutes to go and a 14-point game. Parrish remains the deep back. They take the play clock all the way inside 3. Bruce runs right, cuts it up. He's in the end zone. Arlen Bruce has just punched Olathe North's ticket to Emporia. There is your dagger. Bruce and the Eagles are headed for the 6A state title game.
And put it on the back of your offensive line and your star quarterback, and he takes it into the end zone. Nice effort. Kind of what we expected. We expected Bruce to be able to come up big when it mattered, and once again, he put his team on his back when it mattered and punched the ticket.
He didn't have the blow your doors off runs tonight, but his biggest runs came on that final drive. The extra point kick up and through. 21-point lead for Olathe North on Sports Radio 810.
Wow. How do you do that? Oh, he was in the end zone.
28-7. Olathe North is nearly in the state title game. They're just minute 50 to go in this game. End over end kick is going to be fielded near the 11-yard line. Up the near side across the 20, getting spun down at the 22 is the up man. And there is some drama going on over at Aquinas right now.
Tank Young looked like he had brought a touchdown back 100 yards, but they say he stepped out of bounds right before he got into the end zone. So it's not, not over yet.
And that's a 4-point game right now. Mill Valley has cut that.
As I was telling you in the break, why kick the ball to Tank Young?
The other guy in the Player of the Year conversation.
Doing Player of the Year type things.
But the one we've got in our game just sealed it for Olathe North. The 1-yard touchdown for Arlen Bruce moments ago.